Hi you guys, it's Mrs. Verona with another mini lesson. This time we're going to do crisscross method and naming polyatomic ions. Okay, so that's that polyatomic chart I said that I needed you guys to memorize. So when I look at this, I see K, which is my potassium. I look at my periodic table, and I'm going to notice potassium is in group 1, which means he has a +1 charge. All right, your polyatomic chart tells you Cn is a -1, but we naturally don't write out the 1, but I'm going to put it there just for your attention here. Same thing, crisscross. So I come up with KCN. To name him, the K, once again, you should know your periodic table, your names. K stands for potassium. And your Cn is going to be a polyatomic ion. You don't have to do anything fancy to his name. You're going to go ahead and write out what Cn stands for, which is cyanide. And done. I come and look at this one, magnesium, and I see the polyatomic ion sulfate. I look at my periodic table. Magnesium is an alkaline earth metal in group 2. That means he has a +2 charge. So crisscross. Now, I will say I already see a +2 or -2. That's going to tell me I'm going to have to reduce this guy. So I'm going to look at here, Mg2, parentheses, SO4, close your parentheses 2. Okay, like I said, because you do have these 2 atoms of magnesium and 2 polyatomic ion groups here, I can reduce down to 1, 1. So his formula is MgSO4. Same thing with his naming. Okay, Mg stands for magnesium. SO4, right off your polyatomic ion chart that you should know, his name is sulfate. Okay, I'll look at this one. I have iron with a +2 charge. He is going to be a transition metal, so that's why I have to put the oxidation charge on there. Nitrate from the polyatomic chart, he does have a -1 charge. So I'm going to crisscross them to get my compound. So he is FeNO3. Now I do put the 2 out there. If I forget to put my parentheses, I'm now saying I have 32 oxygens, which is not correct. Okay, so you want to make sure and put your parentheses around. This tells me I have 2 nitrate ions attached to my iron. So 1 iron and 2 nitrates. It's be very important when it comes to bonding. And so when I name him, I'm going to use the oxidation charge from iron, which was a +2. So his name here is iron, Roman numeral 2, nitrate. And there's his name. Okay, very important. Whenever you have your transition metals, you must include that oxidation number, and that's represented by a Roman numeral. Okay, so I look at this one, aluminum dichromate. I look at my periodic table, aluminum's in group 13, which means he has a +3 charge. I'm going to crisscross, that goes here, that goes there. So his formula is going to be Al2, parentheses, Cr2O7, parentheses, closed with a 3. And that 3 goes to the outside. So that tells me I need 2 aluminum atoms for 3 polyatomic ions over here, which is your dichromate. So I'm going to just name him. So his name is aluminum dichromate. All right. So now I'm going to jump to the other side. This very first one is going to have 2 polyatomic ions put together. No big deal. Sounds like fun. I go and I look at it, and my ammonium is NH4 with a +1 charge. So I'm going to put this up here. NH4 with a +1 charge. Hydroxide is OH with a -1 charge. That one's easy because they're both 1s. So when I crisscross them, all I'm just doing is putting them together. NH4OH. That one's easy. All right, I look at copper 2 nitrate. So copper 2, that's Roman numeral, tells me the oxidation charge for copper is a +2. And I go and look at nitrate, and he's going to have a -1 charge. So I'm going to have to crisscross these guys. So I'm going to go ahead and write NO3 with a -1 charge. and then I'm going to have copper with a +2 charge. So crisscross. That comes this way, that goes that way. So I have copper 1, I don't have to write out the 1, and I have 2 nitrates attached to my copper. So I'm going to go ahead and put Roman numeral 2 there, and there's your answer. Copper parentheses NO3 parentheses close 2. All right, potassium cyanide. Okay, so I look at my periodic table, the symbol for potassium is a K, and he has a +1 charge. Cyanide on my polyatomic chart is a CN with a -1. Once again, 1s are great because you don't have to do anything special. Criss, cross. So I have KCN. Done. Now this one right here, calcium thiosulfate. Calcium is going to have a +2 charge. So let's just kind of write him down here. I'm going to have calcium with a +2 charge. And then thiosulfate, look him up just to make sure I get him correct because he's a big one. S2O3 with a -2 charge. Okay, now remember with this one right here, because I already see I have a +2 charge and a -2 charge, I'm going to reduce down. I can go ahead and reduce them from the get-go and just turn them 1 to 1, make my life easier. I'm going to go ahead and just stick with what we're doing, crisscross. So I have calcium 2, parentheses S2O3, 2. So I have 2 atoms of calcium with 2 thiosulfate ions. I can always reduce this down, simplify it down, and that gives me calcium thiosulfate, which is CaS2O3 as my final answer. So this is going to be the crisscross method and naming of the polyatomic ions. If you have any questions, please do me a favor and send me a message through Remind or through Schoology. Bye, guys. Be good. Love y'all.